Have you ever felt that life becomes such a burden that you don't know how to move forward? Perhaps, lately, you've been feeling physically and emotionally drained, disconnected from the things you used to love, or even stuck in a constant state of frustration and irritation. The most disturbing thing about all of this is that we often don't realize we're on the verge of an emotional breakdown until it's too late. This video is not here to judge you or offer you quick answers. It's here to help you identify the signals your body and mind are sending you, to open a door to understanding what you're facing, and most importantly, so you can take action before emotional breakdown becomes a reality that consumes your well-being. Stick around to the end, because what we will explore together can not only change your perspective, but also help you regain control of your life and your mental health. Emotional breakdown is not something that happens suddenly, although it is often perceived as such from the outside. It is a cumulative process, a slow burnout that can go unnoticed for months or even years. It originates in unmanaged stress, in repressed emotions, in the constant pressure to meet expectations that seem impossible. Men, in particular, face a unique challenge in this regard. From a young age, we are taught to be strong, not to cry, to solve our problems silently and without help. This cultural conditioning can lead us to ignore warning signs, to carry more than we can bear, to believe that our worth is tied to our ability to resist without showing vulnerability. But the reality is that no one is invulnerable, and the longer we ignore these signals, the more impact they have on our mental, emotional, and physical health. The first sign that you are on the verge of an emotional breakdown is extreme exhaustion. This exhaustion goes far beyond feeling tired after a long day. It is a fatigue that permeates every aspect of your life. It's waking up in the morning feeling like you have no energy to face the day, even after you've slept. It's losing interest in activities that used to excite you or fill you with purpose. It's feeling that every task, no matter how small, requires monumental effort. This type of burnout doesn't come on suddenly. It is the result of weeks, months, or even years of accumulated stress, excessive responsibilities, and unprocessed emotions. It's as if your body and mind are telling you, "I can't take it anymore." If you recognize yourself in this, I want you to know something important. You are not weak for feeling this way. This exhaustion is not a reflection of your capacity, but of the emotional weight you've been carrying without giving yourself a break. Recognizing this is the first step toward healing. Emotional disconnection is another key sign that something is not right. Have you felt distant from the people around you? Have you lost interest in social activities or those things that used to bring you joy? Do you feel as if you are watching your life from the outside without really participating in it? This emotional disconnect can be difficult to identify because many times we interpret it as a simple lack of motivation or as a period of passing stress. However, when this disconnect persists, it can be an indicator that you are on the verge of an emotional breakdown. The mind, in an attempt to protect itself from pain and stress, may shut down certain emotions, creating a sense of apathy or indifference. This, while it may seem like a temporary solution, only deepens the isolation and makes it more difficult to break out of this state. If you've ever felt like you're living on autopilot, that you're surviving instead of living, I want you to know that this disconnect doesn't define who you are or limit what you can accomplish. It's a sign that something needs to change, and taking action now can prevent more serious consequences down the road. The third sign, and perhaps the most visible, is constant irritability. We all have days when we lose our patience more easily, but when this state of irritability becomes the norm, it is a clear indicator that something is wrong. Irritability can manifest itself in many ways, from overreacting to trivial situations, to constantly feeling defensive or even experiencing angry outbursts that seem out of place. What few people understand is that this irritability is just the tip of the iceberg. Behind it are often unprocessed emotions, such as fear, sadness, or frustration. It's as if your nervous system is on constant alert, unable to find rest or relief. Recognizing this isn't easy, especially since irritability can feel like a natural response to stress. But understanding that it's a sign that your mind and body are under enormous pressure is critical to begin to address the problem. If these signs resonate with you, I want you to know that you are not alone and that there are concrete steps you can take to regain your emotional well-being. The first step is to simply acknowledge that you are facing a challenge. This may seem simple, but it is often the most difficult because it requires honesty with yourself and the courage to admit that you need help. Talking to someone can be incredibly transformative. It can be a friend, a family member, a therapist, or even someone in an online community. The important thing is that you start sharing what you're feeling, that you release those emotions you've been repressing. You don't have to have all the answers or know exactly what to say. Just starting that conversation can make a huge difference. Another powerful tool is mindful self-care. We often think of self-care as basic things like getting more sleep or exercise, and while these are important, I want you to think about self-care in a deeper way. What activities recharge you emotionally? What people make you feel supported and understood? What environments help you relax and heal? Maybe it's walking outdoors, listening to music that inspires you, spending time on a hobby you had put aside, or even just sitting quietly and reflecting. The important thing is that you find ways to reconnect with yourself, recharge your emotional batteries, and give yourself permission to rest. Finally, I want to remind you of the importance of human connection. Depression and emotional breakdown often make us feel that we are alone, that no one can understand what we are going through. But this perception is not reality. There are millions of people facing similar battles, and there is incredible strength in sharing our stories and listening to those of others. Connecting with others, whether through honest conversation, a support group, or even community activities, can be one of the most powerful steps toward healing. This video is not just a message, it is an invitation to reflect, to act, and to share. If this message resonated with you, if you think it can help someone else, share it. You never know who might be needing to hear this at this very moment. Subscribe to the channel for more content that addresses real and necessary issues, and leave a comment with your thoughts, your experiences, or a message for someone you think might need it. This is a safe space, a place where we can talk about what many are silent about, where we can find support and understanding. Your life matters, and you are never alone.